Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee and Ohio Republican Congressman Jim Jordan joins me. Nice to see you, Mr. Chairman.
You too.
And
you too, Greta.
I can't believe that. I mean, this indictment is horrendous, just horrendous.
Yeah. But it shouldn't surprise us. I mean, the whole weaponization we saw from the Biden Justice Department and how they went after President Trump and how it extended to, Bratton, Alvin Bragg and Fonnie Willis and everything else. So it shouldn't surprise us. But yeah, it looks like she violated policy at the Justice Department. You're not supposed to take information outside the Justice Department, which she did when she sent it to her personal email address. And then, of course, she violated the judge's order. The judge's order said this classified. If she shared this with anyone else, she definitely violated Judge Cannon's order, which said this classified portion of the report is not to be made public. So, yeah, she's in trouble, and God bless Todd Blanche and the folks at the Justice Department who are holding people accountable.
Well, she had to have known it was wrong. There was no reason to put cake recipe on the files when they were files from this investigation. There's just no reason, unless you're trying to hide something.
Yeah, if you're not trying to hide it, just label it as it is. This is the classified portion of the special counsel's investigation into President Trump's handling of classified documents. I mean, that put that on there instead of bundt cake or whatever, carrot cake or whatever she said.
If she is found guilty of this, she'll get a jury trial, and in the jurisdiction where she's been a federal prosecutor, she's going to go to jail. I mean, it's because this is for a federal prosecutor to be so deceitful and to steal government materials. And what was the purpose of it? I don't think she took it home to read it to, just to look at it. She wasn't even on the investigation. Yeah. She was a prosecutor. She's managing prosecutor of the office.
Yeah, and I think this is emblematic of what we see in the bureaucracy, what I think the voters were trying to get rid of when they re-elected President Trump in 2020 is let's stop this bureaucracy that thinks they're smarter than the folks who get elected to office and who run these agencies, this sort of embedded people who are out there. I mean, you can go all the way back to think about the 51 former Intel officials and what they did. Think about all the examples of where we see that they think they're smarter than the rest of us. Think about Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. I mean, Lisa Page is saying, oh, can we stop Trump? Clear back in 2016. Don't worry, we'll stop him. Peter Strzok responds. He's in the Walmart and he says, I'm in the Northern Virginia Walmart. I can smell the Trump supporters. So there's this attitude, this disdain for us regular people, and this idea they're smarter, better, and they don't have to follow the rules. I think this is just another example of that phenomenon that we're trying to get out of our government.
Well, what do you learn from the Southern Poverty Law Center investigation or the hearings? Because I remember in the 1980s, they did good work. And now they're facing an indictment in 2026.
Yeah, they did good work. They bankrupted the Klan. They went after racist organizations. They did good work, but now they decided, there's more money in creating the hate and fabricating things and manufacturing hate than there is in just fighting it. Because they were paying these field sources, that's the name they gave them, literally $3 million to multiple field sources that they were paying who were in these hate groups. The head of the, what was it called, the Aryan Nation Motorcycle Club, the Imperial Wizard at some crazy Klan group or whatever. And they were paying these guys to foment the hate they were telling their donors they were fighting. And the worst of it all was, Greta, they became the standard, the source for evaluating and determining and designating who's a hate group and who isn't. And of course, they designate conservative pro-family groups, pro-Republican groups as hate groups like the Family Research Council, but they never designated Jane's Revenge, the group that was responsible for firebombings of churches and crisis pregnancy centers in the aftermath of the Dobbs decision. They never made the list. No. So it was all driven by politics and, frankly, greed. Because after the Charlottesville rally, where they had one of their people attend who helped coordinate the transportation to that rally back in 2017, they went from 51 million. By the way, a person died at that rally. When some crazy guy ran a car into a crowd of people. But after that rally, they went from 51 million to $133 million annual revenue. So they said, wow, promoting hate, creating hate actually is profitable. And that's what they kept doing, it looks like.
All right, well, your colleagues on the other side of the Hill are going home, or they have gone home. So what's going to happen with reconciliation? June 1st is rapidly approaching, and it doesn't look like the Senate is going to close their deal.
Yeah, you're right. We're going home for the holiday weekend. we'll get it done. We got to get it done. We got to fund ICE. This is all part of the Democrats' plan. Let in 10 million illegal migrants, create sanctuary jurisdictions, which makes it tough to remove those migrants, even when they commit another crime, and then don't fund the guys who do the removing. Don't fund ICE. Such a deal. That's a Democrat plan. And so we've got to fund ICE through this process called reconciliation. So we got to get it done. We'll get it done. But as you well know, Greta, sometimes this process is cumbersome. Well,
How are you going to get it done?
I think there's some question on some things that were put into the legislation recently. Things I don't have a problem with, but some members do, like the money for Secret Service protection at the new addition to the White House, and like this weaponization fund. There were some concerns there, so I assume we'll have to work around that and figure out how we can move forward. But we'll get it done because we have to fund ICE.
Chairman Jim Jordan, thank you, sir. People think news just happens. It doesn't. It happens because there's someone there to capture the moment, to explain it and share it. That's my job. I go where news breaks and give you the facts. Join me for The Record on Newsmax.